everyone, and welcome to this chair-based yoga flow. This is an intermediate level class, and the chair use is really optional in lots of parts, so you can make that class as hard or as easy as you want, depending on how you feel today. So let's get started. You're going to start in a comfortable seat. That can be sitting like this, cross-legged, or of course you can just sit on the chair to do this first part of the class. I'll start sitting on the chair. Sitting comfortably on the chair, we're going to get your spine in a nice neutral position first. So we're going to think about sticking our tailbone or our bum out towards the back of the chair and lifting our breastbone up and away. When you're here, let's release some tension in the shoulders before we start. So shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then let them drop. And going for 2 more of those. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, feel the tension in your neck muscles, and then let them drop. Last one. Then keeping the shoulders relaxed down, place one hand on your breastbone or one hand on your belly. Lift your breastbone away from your belly, and we're going to bring our attention to our breath. You can soften the eyes if you wish. You're going to breathe in through your nose, down deep into your belly, and then breathe out through your nose or mouth. You're going to go for 3 more breath cycles here at your own pace, just focusing on breathing in through the nose, down deep, breathing out fully. Now we're going to use that breath to open up areas around the chest and the rib cage that often get a little bit tight and sticky. So we're going to take the left thumb to our left shoulder, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling, pull the thumb back. And if you're on the ground, fingertips go to the ground. If you're on the chair, grip the chair with your right hand. Reach up towards the ceiling and over to the right. Take 3 deep breaths here, and you can play with this stretch by turning your breastbone to point up towards the ceiling or down towards your right knee and see where you get the best stretch. And then take 3 deep breaths into that left side of the rib cage. If your shoulder's a little bit sore, you can rest your hand on your head. Then bringing that left arm down on your next breath in, sweep both arms up overhead. And on our breath out, we're going to twist to the left. So if you're on the floor, your hand comes to the ground behind you. Here, you can press it into the chair. Take 3 breaths here. Think about breathing into the back of your rib cage, back of your lungs. With every breath out, it might feel comfortable to turn a little bit further. Then bringing it back to the center, we're going to bring that right hand to our right shoulder, reach the right arm up. If you're on the floor, fingertips to the ground or grip the chair. Reach over to your left side. You're breathing into this right side of the rib cage, right side of the thorax. Again, play around with twisting your breastbone slightly up or down to get a stretch that's good for you. And then 3 breaths here. Really breathing into that right side of the rib cage. Your hand can rest on your head if it needs to. On your next breath out, bringing that right arm down. And as we breathe in, scooping both arms up, your breath out twists you to the right. Take a nice deep breath in here. Think about the breastbone lifting. Breathing into the back of your chest, and as you breathe out, you might get a little bit more movement. Just go as far as is comfortable for you. Bring it back to the center, and then bringing one hand to the breastbone, it doesn't matter which, one to the belly button. You're going to consciously lift your breastbone up and away from your belly button, creating space in your chest. Then bring both hands up to the breastbone. Lift your elbows to shoulder level. And make sure those neck muscles are relaxed. Reach both arms out to the side, and you're going to rotate so that your left thumb goes up and your right thumb goes down. And then we're going to follow those thumbs. So left arm goes up overhead, and then right arm can go down to the chair, or if it's comfortable, it can go behind your back. We're going to bend at both elbows. It does not matter about the hands touching. You're going to lean your head back into that top arm, and you should feel the stretch under your left armpit, left shoulder area, maybe into the tricep area. And you're here for 3 simple breaths, and you're breathing into that left, almost armpit area, so upper rib cage does not often get a stretch. Then we're going to gently straighten at the elbows, if both hands were behind your back. Bring the hands back down to your lap, loop the shoulders up towards your ears, down and back, twice. And then one hand goes back to the breastbone, or one hand to the belly button, and we're going to do that on the other side. So lift your breastbone up and away, both hands to the breastbone, pull the elbows and the upper arm back towards the wall behind you. If this is enough, you can stay here. Open the arms out. We're going to turn the right thumb up this time and left thumb down. And reach that right arm up, left arm behind your back. Bend at the elbows, or if your left arm doesn't like that, just hold on to the chair. Lean your head back into that top right arm and feel the stretch through that area under your right armpit, maybe up into the right arm tricep area. 3 breaths here. And then we're going to unravel the arms, bring them back down. And if you're seated on the floor, you're going to come onto all fours, onto your hands and knees, and same if you are from your chair. We're going to position our chair seat facing towards the back of the mat to our right. Everyone coming down onto all fours. Get your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And then from here into a cat-cow, inhaling to lift the head and the tailbone, and then exhaling as you tuck and round the tailbone, arch your spine up towards the ceiling, drop the head. We're going to repeat this movement and aim to sync it up with your breath. So with one breath, sync one movement. 2 more rounds. And then we're going to rest in what we call like tabletop, or kind of a middle ground. So you should have a little dip in your lower back, shouldn't be rounded. And you can think about your chest almost being pushed away from the floor. You don't want it to collapse into it. From here, you're going to press firmly into your left hand and your right knee. You're going to slide the right hand forward, slide the left leg back. Keep them touching the ground. You're going to reach out through that back heel, reach out through the fingertips. And as you inhale, just lift the right arm and exhale to lower. Then add in the leg if it's comfortable for you. So this is waking up your core muscles, challenging your abdominals and your shoulder muscles as well. Going for 2 more of your choice, so you can go with just the arm or the arm and the leg. Place that right hand back down, give the left wrist a little bit of a shake. And this time we're going to press down into the right arm, left leg. Slide the left arm forward, slide the right leg back, reach out through that right heel. Think about pushing your chest away from the floor. As you inhale, lift the left hand, you should feel your tummy muscles activate. If they're not, you'd probably need more weight forward in that right hand. And then add in the leg for the last 3 if you wish. So inhaling to lift, heel and fingertips reaching away, exhale to lower. Keeping a soft bend in the elbow of the arm that is supporting you all the time. Come back to all fours, give the wrist a shake out, and press back into a child's pose. When you're here, you can rest your forehead on the ground if it's comfortable, or you can stack your hands underneath your forehead if you need some more support. Taking 3 deep breaths here, breathing into the back of the rib cage, back of the chest. And then we're going to come back up and repeat that little set of movements one more time. As you inhale, lift your head and tail. And as you exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling. 2 more in sync with your breath. Then we're going to pause in that neutral spine. So a little dip in the lower back, breastbone, chest pressed away from the floor. Going to push down into the left hand, right leg. Slide the right arm out and the left leg. And then inhale to lift the arm or the arm and the leg. And we're going for 3 more. Keep a soft bend in the elbow of the arm that's supporting you. Don't lock it out. And then bring it down. Give your left wrist a little bit of a shake. And pressing into the right arm and the left leg. Slide your left arm and your right heel away. Keep your chest pushing away from the floor and weight through that arm, a nice bend in the elbow. And when you're all set up, inhale to lift the arm and the leg, or just the arm, or just the leg if that suits your body better. So you pick which limb you want to move. And we're going for about 5 on each side. Bring the hands back down, press back into your child's pose. Rest your forehead on your hands or on the mat, and just rock your forehead gently from left to right. 2 more nice deep breaths here. Focus on sending your breath down into the back of your lungs, back of your ribcage. And on your breaths out, focus on letting your arms, your head, and your trunk just rest into the mat. Then pressing up into all fours, we're going to take our left foot forward and the chair should be to your right. It's very optional to use the chair. Tuck your toes underneath, and if you're using the chair, press into the seat of the chair or the top of the chair as you come up into mountain pose. You're going to cross your left leg over towards the chair, keeping your right arm on the chair. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and then stretch over towards the chair. Taking 3 breaths here into the left side of the rib cage. Every time you breathe out, you might fold a little bit more into that right arm to let you stretch over to the side more in a supported way. And then coming back up tall, uncrossing the feet. We're going to inhale to reach the arms overhead. Exhale as you fold forward, hands come down through the center. And on your next breath in, lift your head and chest, just lifting up to halfway. Exhale to fold. Staying in this forward fold for 2 breaths. And then pressing down into our feet, keeping our knees with a little bit of a bend, coming all the way up into mountain pose, palms face forward. Option to have the right hand on the chair here, left hand on your hip. We're going to fold the hips back so you are down in a chair pose. Taking the hands off the chair, reach both arms up. Think about a nice line from your wrist, shoulders, and hips. 2 breaths here, your tailbones reaching nice and long towards the back of the mat. Then place your right hand on the chair, left hand on your left hip. Shift your weight to the left leg and then tap the right leg back. We should feel the muscles working in the left thigh, the left bum, the left calf. If you feel comfortable, take that right hand off the chair and it can go onto your right hip. Next time, we're going to send that right foot back and plant it down. We're going to bring our shoulders over our hips and then thumbs to the shoulders and inhale as you reach up, and we're in our high lunge pose. 3 breaths here, really grounding down through your feet. And as you inhale, reaching those fingertips up towards the ceiling, almost pulling the thumbs back slightly to open up through the chest. Right hand goes to the chair, left hand to the hip as you fold forward from the hips. And then options here is to take that right hand off the chair and reach both hands back, palms facing up. Breathing into the back and the sides of the rib cage in this pose. You should feel your muscles at the back of your leg and butt. Then hands to the hips, or one can go onto the chair. You're going to come back up into your high lunge pose before you lower the back knee to the floor. You're going to reach the right arm up and stretch away from the chair. 2 breaths here, breathing into this right side. Bringing the right arm down. On our next breath in, reach both arms up towards the ceiling and then have a turn to your left. So again, you're turning away from the chair. Think about lifting that breastbone as you breathe in. Coming back to the center, using the chair if you need, so pressing a hand into it. Push down through the left leg and down through the hand on the chair as you stand back up into your mountain pose, palms facing forward. We're going to repeat this one more time on this side. As you inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold all the way down to the floor. You're going to inhale up into your halfway lift. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to come all the way up to the top. We're going to sit down into our chair pose. Hips fold back, tailbone reaches towards the back of the mat, and reach the arms up. 2 breaths here. Breathing into the sides and the back of the rib cage, not bracing the back to steady ourselves, using the legs for that. Right hand to the chair and left hand to your hip. Shift your weight onto that left leg. Tap the right foot back. If it's comfortable for you, both hands can be on those hips. Then tap it back, plant it down, and bring your shoulders up over your hips. On your breath in, reach the arms towards the ceiling. 2 breaths here. Feel the sides of your ribcage and chest open up. And then right hand to the chair, left hand to the hip as you fold forward. Options here. You're going to reach the arms back, palms facing up. And then an extra balance option is you can put your right hand on the chair, left hand on your hip, and push your weight forward onto the left leg to balance on this pose. You can keep the hand on the chair, working your muscles. If you feel steady and confident, reach both arms back, palms facing up. Coming back down into our low lunge, reach the right arm up and stretch away from the chair. Bringing that arm back down, inhale to reach both arms up and twist to the left. Coming back to the center, we're going to use the chair as if we need. Push into the left leg, push into the chair, optional. Come back up into our mountain pose and swap the chair to the other side of the mat. From here, we're going to cross the right leg in front of the left. Reach your right arm up and stretch over towards the chair. 3 breaths into the right side. You can turn your chest up towards the ceiling if it feels good, or down towards the chair more. Then uncross the legs. You're going to inhale as you reach the arms up. Exhale to fold all the way down to the floor. A breath in takes you up halfway. A breath out, fold all the way forward. Staying in your forward fold for 2 breaths, enjoying the stretch in the back and the hamstrings. And then pressing into your feet, coming all the way back up into mountain pose, palms face forward. We're going to bring the hands to the hips, press the hips back, reach the arms up, you're in your chair pose. 3 breaths here, warming up the legs, breathing into the back of the chest and the rib cage. Then we're going to bring the left arm to the chair, right hand to the right hip. Press your weight over to the right leg. Tap the left leg back behind you. Making sure we're just using the muscles in that right leg and not collapsing into the side or our lower back. And then reach the left foot back, plant it down. Hands on the hips. You're going to reach the arms up. You're in your high lunge pose. As you breathe out, focus on grounding down through your feet. And as you breathe in, think about stretching those arms up and back. Bringing the right hand to the hip and left hand to the chair. Hinge forward from that right hip as far as you are comfortable. And then if you want an optional challenge, reach both arms back, palms facing up. You should really feel the muscles in the back of that right leg working to hold you here. And then hand back on the chair, come back up into a high lunge before you lower your back knee to the floor. From here, reach the left arm up and stretch away from the chair. And take 3 nice restful breaths here. You can even rest your arm on your head if you need to. Bringing that arm down. Inhale as you bring both arms up and twist to the right. As you breathe in, you can think about lifting that breastbone, and as you breathe out, it might be comfortable to turn a little bit further. Coming back to the center, hand presses down into the chair and into the right leg. Take a step back up into mountain pose. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead. We've got one more round. And then exhale as you fold forward. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold all the way forward. Pressing into the feet, coming all the way up. Hands are going to go to our hips. Press those hips back. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Here for 2 breaths, really pressing down through the heels and the toes, getting the feet to be your stable base, letting your legs work. Then bring your left hand to the chair, right hand to your right hip. Press your weight into the right hip. You might just take the left heel off to give it a chance to wake up. And then tap your left foot back behind you 3 or 4 times. You should feel the muscles in the right bum working, the front of the right thigh, the back of the right thigh. And then plant that left foot back. Straighten up so shoulders are over your hips, and then reach the arms up towards the ceiling. 2 breaths here. Breath out, grounding into the feet. Breath in, reaching the hands up and back. Then right hand goes to the right hip, left hand to the chair, and hinge forward until you feel the muscles in the back of that right leg help you support yourself and start working. If they're working and they're comfortable, you can make it harder by reaching the arms back behind you. And then a further option is you can place that left hand on the chair again if you want to try a balance with the left hand on the chair, or you can take the left hand off. And my right leg isn't happy with that today, so I will do the balance on the left side only, and then I'll just hold here. So do what suits your body. It's different on different days. And then coming back up into our high lunge pose, you're going to lower your back knee to the floor, reach your left arm up, and stretch away from the chair. Then we're going to bring that left arm back down, reach both arms up, and twist away from the chair. 3 breaths here. Bringing it back to the center, we're going to move the chair to the front of the mat now. Seat facing you. Coming back up into standing, into your mountain pose. Going to inhale as you reach the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, fold at your hips and knees and plant your hands on the chair, a soft bend in the elbows. And then we're going to step back into a plank. So we're going to work your shoulders and your core in this really short flow. Think about your front ribs hugging away from the chair. Your gaze is just slightly past the chair. From here, we're going to lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Getting a really good stretch out through the lats, through those big muscles that run from our shoulders to our hips. Stick your tailbone up, soften your knees if you need to. Then we're going to push into the feet and transfer our weight forward onto our hands again. Soft bend in the elbows. We're going to really press down into that right foot. Take the left leg off. You'll feel your core and your tummy muscles and your shoulders working. Step the left foot up towards the chair, so your knee is pointing straight ahead at the chair. You're going to turn on the back foot, and then we're going to come up into our warrior two. Bringing your shoulders over your hips and reaching your arms out nice and long. Think about pulling back through the little fingers. Think about your shoulder blades sliding down your back. From here, we're going to bring your right thumb to your right shoulder, tip over towards the chair so your left hand rests on the top of it, and then inhale to reach your right arm past your ear, over past the chair. 3 breaths here in this lovely side stretch. Then we're going to bring that right thumb back to our right shoulder, push through the chair to bring ourselves back up into our warrior two. Bringing the right thumb to the shoulder again, and this time if it's comfortable, folding at those hips, bringing the hand onto the seat of the chair, reaching that right arm past the ear, right overhead. Turning your breastbone up slightly to open up through the chest a little bit more. Then right thumb goes back to right shoulder, push yourself back up into your warrior two, and we're going to spiral those arms back to the chair. Turn the back foot so it's pointed straight ahead towards the chair again, and step back into your plank. From here, we're going to move the hips up and back into our downward facing dog, a soft bend in the knees, the tailbone sticking out. Then we're going to push the weight from our feet into our hands and come back into our plank. From here, you're going to take the right foot off, all the weight is in your left leg. Bring the right knee forward. You're going to turn the left foot at an angle and plant it down. Make sure your right knee is pointing straight ahead. Coming up into your warrior two here, opening your arms out to the side, looking out over your right fingertips, so looking past the chair. And then from here, we're going to bring the left thumb to the left shoulder, right hand goes to the top of the chair, and we tilt over towards the chair. Reach the left arm up past your ear, past your head, over the chair for a really nice side stretch. You can think about your breastbone turning up so it faces straight ahead and isn't turned down towards the floor. On your next breath out, pull that left thumb back to the left shoulder and press back up into your warrior two, looking out over your right fingertips. This time, left thumb comes to left shoulder, and we're going to hinge from the hips so your bum bumps towards the back of the mat and your right hand lands on the chair seat. Reach the left arm up, past your ear, over past the chair. Maybe don't close your eyes, it makes you a little bit wobbly in this pose. Turn your breastbone to face straight ahead. Then pressing into that hand, coming back up into your warrior two, reaching the arms out, and then bringing the hands back to the chair, turning the back foot gently, so it's pointed straight ahead. And from here, we're going to go into your plank and your downward dog. We're going to come back into your plank. This time, we're just going to step our feet halfway towards the chair. So you should still be about a foot away from the chair. You're going to come up into your standing mountain pose. We're going to practice a little bit of balance. So you're going to shift your weight to your left leg. You're going to have your hands on your pelvis. It's going to try stay level. And then pick the right foot up as high as you can. Keeping balanced, can you straighten the right foot out in front of you and let the heel rest on the chair? You should have a nice little bend in your right knee. Stick your bum out behind you and think about that right hip being pushed back into the socket. Then we're going to fold forward for a really nice hamstring stretch. If it's comfortable for you, you can reach your left hand towards the top of the chair in front of you. If you're super flexy, you can go down onto the chair. I'm not today, so we're going to keep this up. So do what suits you. You want a real good stretch in the back of the thigh and the hamstring. And you're here for 3 breaths. Now we're going to bring our right hand back to the right hip. We're going to push into the chair as we come back up into standing. So our left leg's taking the load again. And we're going to pick that right foot up. And last challenge for the left leg, you're going to pick tree pose of your choice, of your difficulty. So you can have the right big toe touching the ground. You can have the right foot against your calf or your thigh. When you've chosen your difficulty, let's bring the hands together, lift the breastbone up, roll the shoulder blades back. And we're here for 3 breaths, grounding down through the entire foot, focusing on that grounding down with every breath out. With every breath in, lifting the breastbone, moving the shoulders back, activating the body. Taking the right foot and placing it back down, back into your mountain pose, palms facing forward. Then we're going to bring the hands to the hips, soft bend in both knees, and we're going to shift our weight to that right leg. Try and keep your pelvis nice and level. There's 2 little bony bits, you're keeping them level. Breastbone lifted, and you're going to pick that left leg up as high as you comfortably can, and then see if you can keep yourself nice and steady as you straighten out of the knee and rest the heel on the chair. Keeping your left hand on your left hip so it stays back, tailbone sticking out to give you a better stretch in the hamstring. Lean forward from your hips. If you can reach the chair, great. If not, you can keep your hands on your hips. So hands can go to the top of the chair or to the seat of the chair. You shouldn't feel stress in your lower back. So just a stretch in the hamstring. And you're here for 3 breaths. If you want to increase the stretch in your hamstring, you just stick that bum out, stick that tailbone out a little bit more if you can. Then bring the hands back to the hips, come up into standing and tree pose of your choice. And it might be different on this leg. So toe on the ground, foot against kind of your ankle, foot against your calf or foot against your thigh. And then from there, we're going to bring the hands together, press the thumbs against the breastbone and lift the breastbone up. This helps the muscles in the back of our body engage. If we're slumped forward, they can't turn on. Feel your shoulder blades slide down your back and gaze straight ahead. And you're here for 3 breath cycles. And then letting go of that, giving it a shake out, and we're going to move onto the ground to wind down before we do a short breathing meditation. So hands to the chair, coming onto your knees, and then we're all going to have a lie on our back and our feet are placed up on the chair. This is a really nice way to relax your nervous system if you're feeling really kind of tight and tense at the end of the day. So feet are on the chair. You've got a little space between your lower back and the floor, and knees can be splayed out slightly. And we're going to place one hand on your breastbone, one hand on your belly button, and you're going to just take a nice deep breath in through your nose, down deep into your belly. And then breathe out through your nose or mouth. And then going for 2 more breath cycles here, just winding down after an active practice. Wait, can you just wait outside a minute? I'm just recording a class for you. Thanks, if you could tell the rest of them. And then from here, we're going to take your right foot and we're going to do a little stretch for your sciatic nerve. So straighten the knee, pull the toes down to your head, and then pop it down. And you're going to go for 3 more. And then we're just going to do some ankle circles. Turning that foot around, it might click and clunk a little bit if your ankle is a little bit stiff and tight. Finally, we're going to place that right foot onto your left thigh. This might be enough of a stretch. Otherwise, hug the left thigh into your chest. Let the left foot go floppy. Have a gentle rock from side to side. And then placing both feet back on the chair, we're going to do the same little routine to that other leg. So taking a hold of that left thigh, straighten the knee, pull the toes down towards you, and then drop the foot. And you're going to go for like 3 more of these. Then keep the knee straight and then do some ankle circles. So about 3 in every direction, and just notice if this one is a little bit smoother or if it's just as clicky as the other one. And then placing that left foot on your right thigh, option to pull that right thigh into your chest, and then gently rock from left to right. And then we're going to end the practice placing both of our feet on the chair. Make sure you're real comfy, so have a little shuffle around if you need to go closer to the chair. Or you can lay your feet straight on the floor if for any reason the chair is uncomfortable. One hand on your breastbone and one hand on your belly. And as you breathe in, you're going to notice the belly rise. As you breathe out, notice the belly fall. For the next minute, just want you to anchor your mind to the sensation of that belly rising as you breathe in, filling the lungs with air. And notice it fall as you breathe out and the lungs recoil. And you can stay here for a little longer if you wish and you're comfortable in this position. Or otherwise, you can bring yourself into a comfortable seat. So taking the knees into the chest, rolling onto whichever side you prefer, and pressing up into a seated position. I hope you enjoyed your chair yoga. Hopefully it was a little bit challenging for you and it could meet the needs of your body today. Have a great day.